So, as we all know by now, Mike Tyson had to pull out of the Jake Paul fight on July 20th, and they're now scheduled to fight on November 14th or something like that now, I think. But on July 20th, it looks like Mike Perry will be stepping in to fight Jake Paul on that date. And honestly, I feel like Mike Perry is is way more of a threat to Jake Paul than what Mike Tyson is at the age of 60. So, yeah, I honestly feel like Mike Perry will beat Jake Paul. I honestly think he will. I've seen loads of people saying, oh, it's going to be a great fight, but Jake will win. I honestly feel like Mike Perry will put a stop to things here and will basically save Mike Tyson from getting badly flatlined. Because let's be real, if I'm being honest, going into Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, I was thinking that Mike Tyson will win. Now, it's clear he's having really bad health conditions and all that. Jake Paul's obviously going to beat him, obviously, if that happens. But Mike Perry, you're our last chance to put an end to all of this. And I feel like that is what Mike Perry will do. I feel like Mike Perry will retire Jake Paul from boxing, and even better, will stop the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight happening, because that cannot happen. That fight cannot happen. And the funny thing is, I actually called this a while back saying that, I wasn't even sure if Mike Tyson would actually be able to fight Jake Paul. I was right. I wasn't too sure on it. And I did say it should be Mike Perry stepping in to fight Jake Paul. And guess what? 2 months later, we're here right now where it looks like Mike Perry is going to be fighting Jake Paul, and Mike Perry will beat Jake Paul. It's going to be interesting because, I feel like Jake's only way of winning is winning on points. But I feel like Mike Perry can grind his way into a points decision win. And I feel like a knockout's more likely to also come from Mike Perry. I feel like Mike Perry's just going to be too unpredictable, too wild for Jake Paul. The good thing about Mike Perry is that he closes the gap down really, really, really well. And overall, Jake Paul can't really dictate a fight behind his jab. He's not got the attributes to be able to do that. I've seen people saying, Jake Paul will definitely be able to outbox Mike Perry. No. Jake Paul's, let's be real, not really an actual boxer. He's not got the attributes to be able to keep Mike Perry at bay with his jab. Jake Paul literally never uses his jab. Jake Paul's not Jake Paul's improved on his footwork, but it's nothing special. He's not going to be able to keep Mike Perry off him for 6, 8 rounds, whatever it is. It might be probably 8 rounds. I don't think Jake Paul's going to be able to keep Mike Perry off him. I really don't. Mike Perry shuts down the gap well and is, wild with his punches and puts lots of shots together at once. And I just feel like, there'll be all kinds of punches from Mike Perry coming out from all kind of directions. And Jake Paul's not going to know what's hitting him. And let's be real here. I doubt Jake Paul will be able to stop Mike Perry. Yes, Mike Perry's got holes in his defense, but his chin is elite, Mike Perry's. His chin is absolutely elite. Jake Paul's not stopping you. If you can't stop Mike Perry in a bare knuckle, if people can't stop Mike Perry in a bare knuckle fight, real proper fighters, former MMA champions can't stop Mike Perry in a bare knuckle fight. How's Jake Paul going to stop Mike Perry with, 10, 12 ounce gloves, whatever they're fighting in? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Mike Perry will win this fight. He'll close the gap down and he'll put a right beating onto Jake Paul. I want to see Mike Perry mix up his shots more, but obviously Mike Perry's not a boxer either. He's a bare knuckle fighter, former MMA fighter. So, Mike Perry's not exactly got the best boxing IQ in the world. No chance he has. Mike Perry hasn't really exactly got a great boxing IQ. But Mike Perry takes you to hell when you fight him. To beat Mike Perry, you have to go to hell and back. And that's what Mike Perry will do to Jake Paul. Mike Perry will take Jake Paul to hell and back. And Jake Paul won't be able to deal with him. Jake Paul will not be able to deal with the pressure that Mike Perry gives him. The stamina of Mike Perry, his engine. He's going to be consistently coming at Jake Paul. Consistently coming at him. And, Mike Perry, it's hard. He's going to get Jake Paul out of there. Jake Paul can be busted up. And yes, Mike Perry can be busted up as well. This could be a bloodbath for all we know. Yes, I think Jake Paul could hurt Mike Perry, but I don't think Jake Paul were knock him down or anything like that. He could hurt Mike Perry a bit in the fight, make him bleed, but he's not going to have Mike Perry in any serious danger because I don't think Jake Paul hits hard enough. I think Jake Paul's power is very over exaggerated by a lot of people, by loads of people in the influencer space saying that Jake Paul hits ridiculously hard. He doesn't. Let's be real. He doesn't. And overall, Jake Paul, he's not great. Jake Paul's defense is awful, if we're being honest as well. And once Mike Perry's able to shut that gap down, Mike Perry's gonna be having a field day. Like he's gonna be landing non-stop on Jake Paul if Mike Perry can back him up and just be consistently landing some big shots. And as I said, you need to go to hell and back to beat Mike Perry. Mike Perry's 100% got a bigger heart than what Jake Paul's got. Mike Perry's going to be full on going for it here, and Jake Paul's not going to know what to do. Jake Paul's not got the attributes to keep someone, who's always consistently in your face, closing the gap down. I also don't feel like Mike Perry will have too much respect for Jake Paul's power. Like, yes, Jake Paul, he's been bulking up to heavyweight and all that now, but he's coming back down. For this fight, Mike Perry will bulk up. He'll be fighting at cruiserweight. So Mike Perry's chin will probably be even better than it already is. I don't see it. And I just feel like Jake Paul moving up to heavyweight, it just would have made him a lot slower as well. You never know. Could that play a factor here? You never know, after gaining all the muscle, now losing it, could that have an effect on, Jake Paul being even slower than what he once was? I don't think he'll be, he was never exactly fast, Jake Paul, but, he's going to be slower, in my opinion, than what he was. And, I feel like it puts it in favor of Mike Perry. But, I feel like to play on the safe side, yes, Mike Perry, it would be good if he comes in with a higher guard and, not getting hit as much as he usually would, just to be on the safe side here. But no matter what, Mike Perry will be able to get in the face of Jake Paul, and Mike Perry's not going to let Jake Paul get full extension in his punches anyway. Mike Perry's an absolute beast, and I feel like he'll take Jake Paul out, if I'm being honest. I feel like Mike Perry will brutally knock him out or brutally stop him. People might call me delusional, but we're going to have to wait and see until the fight. But I truly believe Mike Perry will win this fight. And I feel like he'll do all of us boxing fans a favor and just every combat sport fan a favor by stopping this Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, because this fight's not needed. I don't see why this clown Jake Paul is still going through with this Mike Tyson fight anyway, when very clearly Mike Tyson is not in the right shape to fight. He's, getting ill. He's in the wheelchair a few years ago. Now, he's clearly ill again. I don't get why Jake Paul's still going through with that fight anyway. And now on July 20th, Mike Perry needs to put a stop to this, and I believe he will. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.